Hi there, my name is Ethan Graham. I'm a sophomore honors finance major from Tampa, Florida, studying here at Howard University. And a little bit about myself. Outside of my studies and professional pursuits, I really love to play basketball and let my competitive nature kind of come outside on the court. And I also love to volunteer within the special needs community. My older brother Isaiah is on the autism spectrum, which has really provided me with the benefit of lifelong immersion within this community, which really makes up a big part of who I am. Outside of this, on the other hand, my love and passion for finance really stemmed back all the way to my freshman year of high school when I began investing in the market. During the pandemic, a lot of people were indoors taking on new skills and hobbies, and this is really where my kind of love for finance was birthed when I started to learn the fundamentals of stock market investing and all the intricacies of this kind of industry. I've since kind of compounded my portfolio to 70% return on invested capital. And fast forward 2 years after this, going into my senior year of high school, I actually started my first company called Team with the Truck LLC, which is a trucking and junk removal business, which really kind of poses the greatest risk that I've taken. Um, I've since been able to scale the business to over six figures in revenue, and I really bootstrapped the business off the ground by myself without the aid of family and friends, and have grown it organically to the kind of self-sufficient operation that it is today. So I've really now kind of scaled the business and transitioned to a subcontracting model, which allows me to employ a couple people back home in Florida, which really kind of allows me to give back to my community and actually pay for my college education by myself without the aid of my parents, which is really something that I take a lot of pride in. Um, but I also kind of find myself now really saying pretty often that I am so lucky and fortunate enough to be entering the financial service industry during such a exciting and fascinating time. Some things that I'm following pretty closely right now are interest rates, inflation, and tariffs, and the kind of effect that these 3 points kind of have on each other. So when first kind of taking a look at tariffs imposed by the new administration, which I believe may actually cause a cash crunch for consumers in the back end. Essentially, of course, if prices rise, leading to higher inflation, the Fed will kind of have to go ahead and resume rate hikes to curb this inflation. We saw in January that the CPI report, data from the CPI report rather, came in rather high, and prices in January rose by a substantial margin, bringing inflation up to that 3%. So we may actually kind of see the structure of monetary policy going forward in 2025 being a little bit more bearish and conservative.